Shabbat
People
shalom.
of Yahweh. It is a privilege once again to be here, broadcasting from Yahweh and Yahshua's Temple at 725.5 Howard Street in Evanston, Illinois. You can also see us on YouTube. Just put in the search engine YHWH and Yahshua, and we will show up at the top of the list. You will see us. You can put our website actually in on YouTube, one of them, or both, www.yandyspeak.org or www.yandyspeak.com. And then all of our shows will show up in sequence, which my Yahshua let me know, and that was real nice for all of them to show up. And it also shows up the temple that we are in unity with, as far as television, and their shows also show up.
Yes.
And if you want to see their shows separately, just put in Messenger Daniel Davis or put in Messenger Lafayette Wright, and then their shows will show up separately. Praise Yahweh, we're glad to be here on this Shabbat.
Yes.
And Yahweh has given me a lesson. I was telling the brothers and sisters that I was listening to a minister this week, and he told me about this question that Yahweh asked in the Bible. Yahweh asked a bunch of questions, but this one in particular is in Song of Solomon, the 8th chapter. That's in the Old Testament. Song of Solomon. I'm going to go to the 8th chapter. So Yahweh asked this question in verse 5. Song of Solomon, the 8th chapter. And immediately it was quickened to me. My Ruach HaKodesh, like, ooh, that's a real good question.
Praise the mighty
I
Yah.
want to know the answer to that. Song of Solomon, the 8th chapter. And we're going to start reading at verse 5. Sister Zahara Darak. We have Sister Katan Batak sitting here in training, and Sister Zahara Darak is going to be reading for us off camera.
Praise the mighty Yah.
And if you got Song of Solomon, the 8th chapter and verse 5, please read, Sister Zahara.
Who is this that cometh up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved? I raised thee up under the apple tree. There thy mother brought thee forth. There she brought thee forth that bare thee.
Now, he has this question. Who is this that cometh up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved? So there's some people or somebody in the wilderness, but they're coming up out of the wilderness. And then Yahweh says, I raised thee up under the apple tree. Well, Yahweh calls us the apple of his eye.
Yes, he does. Praise the mighty Yah.
And when I was studying the apple of Yahweh's eye, I found out it means apple tree too.
Okay, praise Yahweh.
Same Hebrew word. It says, there thy or mother brought thee forth. So it's talking about some people not staying where they are, but being brought up out of it. He said, there she brought thee forth that bare thee. This is talking about the spiritual people of Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Coming up out of the wilderness.
Yes, the world.
This English word wilderness is the Hebrew word midbar. That's M-I-D-B-A-R, found at Strong's number 4057. And it means driven into a desert, a wilderness, a pasture, an open field like sheep, cattle, and oxen are driven.
Okay.
Let's go in the Old Testament to Exodus, the 7th chapter. So it's the spiritual people of Yahweh coming up.
Yes, we
out of
are.
the wilderness.
Yes, we have.
Not staying in there, coming up out of it.
Yes, we are coming out of the
And Yahweh's
age.
going to show us the world is a wilderness.
Yes.
The earth is a wilderness.
The age.
Why? Because Hasatan, the enemy, made it a wilderness.
Yes, he did.
But
yes,
he's also going to show us not only is there a wilderness outside, but there's a wilderness inside.
Okay, yes it is. Torment.
That he has to get up out of us.
Right?
Our flesh is a wilderness that's within us.
Yes, it is.
So in the wilderness, we discover that we're supposed to be obeying Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Well, we're blessed.
Yes,
we're not lucky. We're blessed.
Yes.
We found out
Hallelujah.
in the wilderness what we're supposed to be doing.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Most of the people don't know or don't care.
Okay.
But it's going to go well with us
Yes.
Because we know.
Hallelujah. Praise be Yahweh.
Father.
All right. Exodus 7. And we want to read one verse, verse 16. So,
Hallelujah.
in the wilderness, Yahweh said, who is this that's coming up out of the wilderness?
Okay.
Those of us that find out what we're supposed to be doing and start doing it.
That's right.
Exodus 7. And we'll read one verse, verse 16.
Praise Yahweh.
And it reads,
And thou shalt say unto him, Yahweh Elohim of the Hebrews has sent me unto thee, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness.
Hallelujah.
And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear.
so now here is Yahweh telling one of his servants, Moshe, to go to somebody else that had Israel serving them. And he said, Thou shalt amar unto him, Yahweh Elohim of Ibryi, we're Hebrews,
Yes, we are.
has sent me unto you, amar, let my am go.
Yes.
What's the reason he's going to let him go? That they may abid me in the wilderness.
Yes.
So why they got to go to the wilderness? Because there's a wilderness, not only the world's a wilderness,
Yeah.
there's a wilderness inside them.
Hallelujah. Right, right. Got to
And
purge it out.
Yahweh always takes his people to the wilderness.
Yeah.
We're going to find out we don't go straight to the promised land.
No, we don't.
Why? Because we're not worthy of promised land
Yeah,
yet.
right.
No.
Y'all right,
If he gives
right.
us the promised land will be in a ditch. There's
Yeah.
a saying about Israel.
Yeah.
They don't know they're Israel.
Yeah.
That's why some of them live in concrete jungles. Why?
Yeah.
Because they found out if they put grass or anything else there, the grass is going to be killed within a certain period of time, and it's going to be concrete
Y'all
anyway.
right, right. Tell it
There's
like
something
it is.
about because the Hebrews are cut off from Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
They have that destructive tendency
Yes, we
to
do.
tear up everything.
Yes, we do.
Have graffiti or whatever all over everything, and just to tear stuff up.
Yup.
If it's nice, the devil has taken them over, so they just want to tear it up and
Okay.
make it not be nice.
Right.
But that's only because they're separated from Yahweh.
Tell it like it is,
So he
Rob.
told this black Hamite, the Pharaoh, in Mizraim or Egypt,
Uh-huh.
let my people go that they may serve me in the wilderness. That's why we're in the wilderness.
Uh-huh.
Number one, most of us don't even know we're supposed to be serving Yahweh.
Right, right.
All right? We're in Exodus. Let's go to the 8th chapter. So it don't matter that Pharaoh wouldn't hear. His
Okay.
people wouldn't even hear him. We're dealing with Yahweh's people.
Right.
He said, who's this coming up out of the wilderness? It's my people.
Yes, it is.
But Yahweh's going to show us through this, we're either coming up out of the wilderness or we're going to die in the wilderness.
Huh.
And we're going to see most of ancient Israel died in the wilderness.
Yes, it is.
Most of modern Israel going to die in the wilderness.
Y'all right, right. Tell it
Yahweh
like
tells
it
us
is.
how to come up out of it.
Yes, he does.
All right,
Preach,
Exodus the
sister,
8th
preach.
chapter. But we need to understand why
Uh-huh.
and who's bringing us up out of it. You let go of Yahweh, you're not
Huh.
coming out of the
No,
wilderness.
you're
You're going
not.
to die in the wilderness.
Yeah, you will.
Exodus 8th chapter, and let's start at verse 27.
Praise
Exodus
Yahweh.
8 and verse 27 reads,
We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to Yahweh our Elohim, as he shall command us.
now here is some extra instructions. It says, we will go 3 Yom journey into the wilderness
Huh.
and
Yeah.
sacrifice to Yahweh our Elohim as he shall survive us.
Yup.
So in the wilderness, there's going to be some things happening. You're just not going to the wilderness. He says, we'll go into the wilderness, and then we're going to sacrifice to Yahweh whatever he tells us to
Right,
sacrifice.
right.
Not what I decide I'm going to sacrifice.
No.
We saw in the first chapter where one brother decided he's going to sacrifice this, and another brother decided I'm just going to do this.
Right, right.
It went well with one brother, and it went evil with another brother.
Tell it like it is, Rob.
So it says, Yahweh shall survive or command us
Yup.
what we sacrifice to him in the wilderness. All right, verse 28.
And Pharaoh said, I will let you go, that ye may sacrifice to Yahweh your Elohim in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away. Entreat for me.
So when we've been serving other people, they don't want you to go too far away.
No.
So it said, okay, you know what, you can serve Yahweh, but just this much.
Huh.
You can serve Yahweh, but I won't give you the holy day off.
Huh.
you have to use your own vacation day, your own day to take it off.
Yeah.
Now, we have a choice in the wilderness.
Okay.
And we can say, well, you know what? My boss, the people I'm working for, they ought to give me that day off because they give these other days off and then you don't take your own day. Well, you shooting your own self in the foot.
Yep.
All right, you better figure out and you better allot your vacation days or personal days or whatever days you have
Amen.
through the whole year. So if Yahweh's holy convocation falls on a day that is not a day that the weekend day, and you have to put in and request a special day off, my advice would be for you to do that. Because in the end, it's our choice.
Yep.
And Yahweh has you in the wilderness.
Okay.
And you come up out of the wilderness by continuing to make the choices that he commands you.
That's right. Obeying Abba Yahweh.
Pharaoh Amar, but the people that you're serving, why? Because Israel work hard. Israel are valuable people to have on your side.
Yeah.
Israel will give their heart, soul, and mind. Israel has a spirit of excellence.
Yes, we do. Praise be
We
to the
just
mighty
saw a
Yah.
young brother up here cleaning the shofar off and making sure when he put it back in the case that it was just right. That's a spirit of excellence.
Praise the mighty Yah.
You have some people that have put it in the case, and we have to go after them so it don't fall off the desk.
Teach, sister.
So
Hallelujah.
this is what you're looking at. You're looking at Yahweh
Teach it,
in a young person.
Hallelujah.
We have another young person in here. Before the sermon is done, gonna go up and start
Yes,
putting
praise
the
the
food out.
mighty Yah for the young.
Now
the
these
youth.
young people
Praise the mighty Yah for our
have that
youth.
already.
Teach,
Right.
sister.
Sometimes we as older people can get worn by the world and just
I
kind
know.
of have
Yep.
new stuff.
Y'all right,
Teach
right.
sister.
Salam.
Don't
Just
do
like
that.
Tell the truth,
So
sister.
here,
Teach it.
Pharaoh said, I'm gonna let you go, and you can do a little bit for Yahweh.
Okay.
But don't do as good for Yahweh as you do for me.
Uh-huh.
You better not listen to
I
that.
know, right?
All right? Whatever
Teach
Yahweh plans and commands you to do, you better do it, and you better do it with your might.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Numbers. This is
Praise
Old
the mighty Yah.
Testament. Numbers, the 27th chapter. So in the wilderness,
Uh-huh.
we find out the truth about ourselves.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Yahweh tells it to us little by little. He shows us what we need to work on first,
Yup, yup. Ourselves.
and second. So who is it? And if you're going to come up out of the wilderness, you're going to listen to what Yahweh's telling you.
It's a must.
And then there are people in our lives that have told us good things about ourselves,
Uh-huh.
but if they weren't connected to Yahweh, that may or may not be true.
Right, right. Y'all right. Tell it like this.
Most of the people are kind and they're nice, and they'll tell you some stuff about yourself which may not be true. They'll be trying to help you overcome some things. But once you come to Yahweh, then he tells you the truth, and you really start overcoming. You
Hallelujah.
really start
Hallelujah.
becoming stronger. You really
Yes.
start becoming better.
Yes.
All right? But you
Yes.
want to find out the truth. And like they say for E.F. Hutton, when Yahweh speaks,
Huh.
you want to listen.
better.
Hallelujah.
You don't want to tune Yahweh out and
better
say,
not.
hey, well, somebody told me that I was a good person.
Huh.
I remember years ago, my father, before he knew Yahweh, I think I'm a good person. But we're going to look at the scripture where Yahshua said there's none.
There's none.
None.
That's
That's
right.
right. Teach it, sister.
So
Tell the
he didn't
truth.
know that scripture.
Right, right.
Praise Yahweh, he did come
Hallelujah.
to know it.
Praise
Teach
Yahweh.
this.
Numbers
Tell the truth.
27, because we don't want to throw out the good stuff people said about us, but you got to start from scratch and let Yahweh start telling you.
That's right. That's
Let's
right.
start reading at verse 15. Numbers
Praise the
27
mighty Yah.
and verse 15 reads.
And Moshe spake unto Yahweh, saying,
16.
Let Yahweh, the Elohim of the Ruach of all flesh, set a man over the congregation,
17.
which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of Yahweh be not as sheep which have no shepherd.
So we are the sheep
Yes,
of
we are.
Yahweh's pasture.
Yes, we are.
And Yahweh's going to show us we're in the wilderness, but Yahweh makes it like an oasis in the wilderness.
Yes, he
We're
does.
in the pasture. It's not all dry.
Not
It's
with
green.
Yahweh.
It's flourishing in the
Hallelujah.
wilderness. that's why some of us make the mistake and want to stay in a comfort zone in the wilderness.
Okay.
No, he didn't put you in the wilderness to stay in there. He put you in the wilderness to come up out of it.
Yeah.
It says, and Moshe amar unto Yahweh amar, let Yahweh, Ha Elohim of Ha Ruach of all flesh,
Yes.
talking about me
All
and you,
flesh.
we have a Ruach, an
Yes, we
inner
do.
man, we have a spirit, that's what gives us breath, that's what enables us to have intelligence and to talk.
That's right.
He says, Sede Adam over the congregation, for what? Which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out.
Huh.
Out of where? Out of the wilderness.
Amen.
The person has to give the congregation a certain mind to where they continue to listen to Yahweh
Yes.
and do what Yahweh says. Hear and do,
Hallelujah.
because you're coming up out of the wilderness.
Yes, we are. Yes, we
You're
have.
not being stagnant.
No, we cannot.
You're not stuck. You're
Not
being
anymore.
led and guided all the way to
Yes,
the
we are.
kingdom.
Praise Yahweh.
He said, which may bring them
Praise
in,
Yahweh.
which may lead them out
Uh-huh.
of the wilderness and bring them in to what Yahweh, to the
Hallelujah.
promised land, what Yahweh has called them to do and to be, not only on earth but in Shemayim,
Yes.
that the congregation of Yahweh be not as sheep which have no shepherd.
Okay.
So when people have no guidance, when sheep have no guidance, they just
They
wander
go
all
astray.
around. And Yahweh said, my people have been lost sheep.
Yes, we
They're
have.
on every hill and every mountain.
Look
Meaning
around.
they're on thing that calls itself a church.
Yeah.
They're in everything that calls itself a religion. Why? Because the shepherds
Okay.
Tell the truth, sister.
disobeyed Yahweh too.
That's it.
So they
Teach.
all got cut off. But
Teach.
we're not like that
No, we're
anymore.
not anymore. Praise
All right.
Yahweh, Yahweh.
Teach.
Verse 18.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, take thee Yahshua, the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Ruach, and lay thy hand upon him.
Now, here is somebody in the Zakin Barit, the Old Testament, that has Ruach HaKodesh.
Okay. Okay.
Yahweh Amar to Moshe, take thee Yahshua Haban of Nun, a Adam in whom is, inside, HaRuach. That's Yahweh's power source.
Right.
And put your hand upon him. Why? He wanted the leaders that were there to put their hand upon this man in the sight of people.
Right, right.
See, there's a thing about people where a lot of things they go by what they see.
Sight. Yep.
And so Yahweh is giving him wisdom about how to let people
Yeah.
know, yes, this is the one
This
that I
is
am
the one.
appointed. He said, put your hand on him. Why? First thing, Yahweh already sealed him.
Yes.
Yahweh already gave him his Ruach
Hallelujah.
HaKodesh.
Right.
All right, if he didn't have Ruach,
Huh.
there would have been no hands laid on Yahshua.
No, it wouldn't.
All right, verse 19.
And set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight.
All right, so he said, not only am I going to put my hand on him, we know he has Ruach HaKodesh, he said, set him before Eleazar the Kohen.
Okay.
So now here's the religious man, and before all the congregation, before the people, and give him a command, give him the authority, give him the position in their sight.
Right, right.
Verse 20.
And thou shalt put some of thy honor on upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient.
Huh.
What's the key to coming up out of the wilderness?
Yes,
So who
sir.
is this that's coming up out of the wilderness?
Yes,
Leaning
right.
upon the beloved. And the beloved is Yahshua. That's the spiritual people of Yahweh.
Okay.
That's not people that leaning upon whatever. If you get enough people around you and ask their opinion about what's supposed to be done. No, that's why we're studying the word now.
Right, right.
I don't want anybody's opinion.
Uh-uh.
I want Yahweh's command.
We
I
want
want
his
Yahweh's
image.
law. I want Yahweh's
Teach,
truth.
sister. Teach.
That's
He said,
it.
and thou shalt put some of thy kabod or honor upon
I know, right?
him. This wasn't the Kohen's honor. This wasn't Moshe's honor. This is Yahweh's honor he's talking about.
Right, right.
I don't have no honor to give you. You don't have no honor to give me. Yahweh's got the honor.
Yes, he
And
does.
Yahweh tells us all who to give it to,
Hallelujah.
not to give it to. He said, put some of your honor upon him, that all the congregation of Israel, this helps them what? Obey Yahweh.
Okay.
Be obedient. Why? Because us coming up out of the wilderness is dependent on us obeying.
Right.
I obey for me.
Okay. Gotta do it for
You
yourself.
obey for you.
Have to. It's an individual thing.
You can't disobey or obey for me. Praise
Right.
Yahweh and vice versa.
Praise the
You
mighty
don't
God.
want your anything to be dependent on me, right?
Uh-uh,
You want it to
no.
be dependent on you.
Right, right.
All right, verse 21.
And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of Urim before Yahweh. At his word shall they go out, and at his word they shall come in, both he and all the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation.
So now, who's running this thing?
Yahweh.
He says, and he shall stand before Eleazar HaKohen, who shall ask Asa or ask for him after the judgment of Urim
All right.
before Yahweh.
Okay.
So we had seen, I believe it was last week,
Yes, we did.
where Yahweh had given these two stones, the Urim and the Thummim,
Yeah, all right.
and then the Kohen, the priest of Yahweh, would rely on these stones for Yahweh to tell him, okay, yes or no, depending on what was going on and what Yahweh wanted. So now he's saying to ask the judgment of the Urim before Yahweh.
Right, right.
Then at his word, Yahweh's word,
Right.
Yahweh's Dabar, shall they go out. Said once Yahweh tells the man what Yahweh said, then the
Right.
people shall go out,
Yeah, right.
or the people shall come in.
Uh-huh.
Both he and all her band of Israel with him, even all the congregation.
Huh.
So he said, this is how this is done. When Yahweh speaks, everybody moves.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
like the man of Yahweh sits up and then everybody else goes and does what you no, no, no.
That's what thus says Yahweh.
Yahweh said, he that's greatest among you is your Ebed, your servant.
Okay.
All right? We're in the Old Testament. Let's go to 2 Samuel or 2 Shemuel. So in the wilderness, we learn what is good and bad.
Yes, we do.
And we
Yeah,
think
do.
we know it before we come to
I
Yahweh,
know,
but
right?
we really don't.
You don't.
2 Samuel.
Knows nothing. You obey.
2 Samuel, the 4th chapter. And here's somebody bringing something to a man of Yahweh. And this person was the man of Yahweh's enemy, or at least he wasn't on the same side or had the same belief as the man of Yahweh.
Okay, okay.
Now this other person thought, if I go and, and do something bad to this person that's against Yahweh,
Huh.
then I'm going to get a reward if
Huh.
I, show the people of Yahweh that I did
Okay.
something bad. So if you have somebody that's come up against you or done something against you, and then you go and, let the air out of their tires or break their, the
Yeah.
windshield on their car, don't think when you come back to us and tell us what you did,
I know, right?
that we're going to pat you on the back. So Yahweh lets us know. In the wilderness, you learn
Yes,
what's
we
good
do.
and what's bad.
Praise the mighty God.
Before you go in the wilderness, before you meet Yahweh, you don't know. You think you know.
Uh-huh.
And now don't let that be a hindrance
Right,
to you
right.
actually finding out what the truth is.
That's right. Don't let pride get in the way.
All right? So we're in 1 Samuel. And the 4th chapter, I want to, 2 Samuel, I'm sorry, 2 Samuel, the 4th chapter, I want to start at verse 8. 2
Hallelujah.
Samuel 4, and let's read verse 8, please.
And they brought the head of Iyshshah unto David to Hebron, and said to the king, Behold, the head of Iyshshah, the son of Shaul, thine enemy, which sought thy life. And Yahweh had avenged my master, the king, this day of Shaul and of his seed.
Now, here's this man that was the son of Shaul, which Shaul wasn't really David's enemy.
No.
At least David didn't look at him as an enemy.
No, he did not.
But what it was Yahweh gave David Shaul's place because Shaul stepped out of his place. He disobeyed. And then Yahweh put somebody in his place that would obey.
Yes, he will.
He said, they brought the head of this man unto David to Hebron, and Amar to Hamelech, Behold, the head of Ishbosheth, Haban of Shaul, thine enemy, which sought thy kai. And Yahweh hath avenged my master Hamelech, this Yom of Shaul and his seed. So he thought he was doing something good.
Right, right.
Bringing this to a righteous people.
Uh-huh.
All right, verse 9.
And they answered Rechab and Baanah, his brother, the sons of Rimmon, the Beerahite, and said unto them, As Yahweh liveth, who hath redeemed my soul out of all adversity.
Ah.
Here he is, he's
Right.
praising Yahweh, and you let him
Yes.
see he's a righteous man. It says, and Dawid Amar Rechab and Baanah his op, Haban of Rimmon, the Beerahite, and Amar to them, as Yahweh Kayah, who hath redeemed my nephesh out of all adversity.
Yes.
So Yahweh delivers me and you.
Yes.
I'm not gonna go and try to come up against my enemy.
Right.
I'm gonna let Yahweh deal
Yeah,
with
he
them.
said this is
So here's
his.
Dawid letting us know where he stands.
Right,
Like Yahweh
praise
has got
Yahweh.
me out of all kinds of
Hallelujah.
trouble.
Yes, he has. Yes, he
Verse
will.
10.
Then when one told me, saying, Behold, Shaul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings,
There's the problem.
I took hold of him and slew him in Ziklag, who thought that I would have given him a reward for his tidings.
So
Huh.
in the Kadash Barik, Yahshua said, you don't know what Ruach you are. Because disciples told Yahshua, hey, they not with us, call fire down from Shemayim on them. He said, you don't know what Ruach you are. That's the devil.
The devil, right?
So here he's saying, when Akkad told me, Amar, behold, Shaul is moved, thinking, it brought me tov tidings, thinking this is good news to me, to find out somebody died.
Right.
Exactly.
So you see, his thinking was wrong, and when you haven't been in the wilderness with Yahweh, your thinking's wrong. You get stuck in the wilderness, and you start thinking wrong is right and right is wrong.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Dawid said they thought they were bringing me good news. He said, I took hold of him and killed him in Ziklag, who thought that I should give him a reward for his tidings, for what he did. You don't reward bad, no matter who it's to. Even if it's your enemy. You don't reward people for doing bad.
Right.
When you're thinking right, like Yahweh taught you. Verse 11.
How much more when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed? Shall I not therefore now require his blood of your hand and take you away from the earth?
Evidently, this Ishbosheth, he just happened to have been born to. I'm not sure if this is the one that was crippled or something. I know there was a brother in there that was crippled because the handmaid dropped him when they were fleeing from the castle. I'm not sure if this is the guy or not. But here's Dawid saying, if I kill this man that thought I was going to be happy and give him a reward for killing Shaul, he said, how much more? And then this man in verse 10, he lied. He didn't even kill Shaul. Shaul fell on his sword.
Right.
He said, how much more when Ra-Adam has slain a Sadiq person?
Okay.
So evidently this Ishbosheth wasn't of the belief of Shaul. In his own body, upon his own bed, shall I not now for thou require his dam of your hand and take you away from Ha'eret? He said, hey, you signed your own.
That's right. Thus says Yahweh.
He said, Shaul, he was departed from Yahweh, but that wasn't my call to go over and do anything to him. He said, now you killed a righteous person.
Right.
Verse 12.
And David commanded his young men, and they slew them, and cut off their hands and their feet, and hanged them up over the pool in Hebron. But they took the head of Ishbosheth and buried it in the sepulchre of Abner in Hebron.
So you see what they did to these brothers? Hey. He saved his young Adam, and they slew them, this man and his brother, cut off their hands and their feet. And again, this is righteous. Yahweh told them to do this.
Right.
Not like Dawid said, okay, I'm going to kill them, I'm going to hang them, I'm going to cut off their hand. No, we don't see it in here. But Dawid had Ruach HaKodesh. We don't do anything
without
in any way. That's right, without asking him, without being led by him.
That's it. That's how we should
telling us exactly what to do and how to do it. And when to do it.
Hallelujah.
And how long.
Yes.
He's all involved with this.
Yes, he
All right,
is.
let's go to the New Testament, to Mark, the 6th chapter.
Praise the mighty Yah.
So again, in the wilderness, we learn what's good and what's
Yeah,
bad.
we do.
Some people, they get stuck in the wilderness right there. They wouldn't come up out of it.
Uh-uh.
But now, why would Yahweh tell them to do that? Okay, just,
I know, right?
all right, they killed him, but if you're going to second guess Yahweh, or you think you can figure out Yahweh and why he does things, then you like the dog chasing his tail.
Right, right.
He sees the tail, and then he goes around and tries to get it, and then guess what? The tail is still around.
Never
So
catches
around
it.
and around and around. Don't try to figure Yahweh out. Just understand that he's good.
Yes, he is.
He always does the right thing,
Yes, he does.
and he's always showing and trying to show us
Yes,
what's
he
right
does. Praise
to
the
help
mighty Yah.
us to
Yes,
get
he does.
better. Mark the 6th chapter.
Hallelujah.
Read one verse, verse 34. Mark 6 and
Praise
verse
Yahweh.
34.
And Yahshua, when he came out, saw much people, and was moved with compassion toward them, because they were as sheep not having a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things.
Yes.
So, Yahshua,
Yes.
what was he teaching them? He was teaching them what Yahweh said.
But thus says Yahweh.
It says, when Yahshua, when he came out, saw much and was moved with compassion toward them.
Yes.
He knows what's good for them. To teach them the
Hallelujah.
word of
Right,
Yahweh. Tell them what Yahweh said.
Praise the
Tell
mighty
them what's right. Tell them what's wrong. Because they were as sheep, not having a ra'ah. What do ra'ah do? He began to yara them.
Yes.
To teach them
That's it.
many things.
Hallelujah.
He was teaching them from the same book that we're reading from.
Yeah, right,
Except they
Tell it
didn't
like
have
it is.
the Kadash Barit, they didn't have the New Testament, but they had the Old.
Right, right.
So he was teaching them what Yahweh said from the Old Testament. We're in the New Testament, let's go to Matthew.
Praise Yahweh.
19th chapter. So people may have told us things about ourselves,
Uh-huh.
but if Yahweh has not dealt with us in the wilderness,
Okay.
it may not be accurate. They meant well,
Yeah.
excuse me, but
Sound like it is.
you can't write that as your biography.
Uh-uh.
Yahweh is writing your biography in
Yes,
the
he
wilderness.
has.
He's writing it right now.
Yes, he has. Yes, he will.
Matthew's 19. And he's telling you truth and more truth.
Yes, all the
Matthew
time.
16, 19, and 16. And we want to embrace all the
Hallelujah.
truths that he tells us.
You better.
What good things shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Verse 17.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Elohim. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Yes.
So, behold, Akkad came and Amar unto him, told by Dom, what told things shall I do that I may have eternal Kai? There's nothing we can do
Nothing.
to have eternal
Not
Kai
our own. Nothing.
except go accept Yahshua.
That's it.
Now that's how you get eternal Kai,
That's it.
eternal life.
Y'all right,
But I can't do enough good deeds.
No, we cannot.
Like you have a religious organization, after you die, then they have some meetings and they say, okay, they did this and this and this and
Okay.
this. So then this entitles them
Uh-huh.
to be a
So they
Kadashim or a
say,
saint. It don't go
Nah,
like that.
thus says Yahweh.
You know before you leave here whether or not
Yeah, praise
you're
God.
a saint
Praise
or a
Yahweh.
Kadashim of Yahweh. You better
Now.
know before you leave here.
Now.
So he said, what good thing shall I do that I may inherit eternal life? And he amarred to him, why kara thou me told? He said, that's a trap. Don't be trying to
I
butter
know,
me
right?
up. Don't be trying to butter me up.
Okay,
Don't
right.
come up and, telling me how good I did
I
and all
know.
that stuff
No,
to praise Yahweh.
Don't appease the mighty
Right.
motion.
He said, why you calling me good?
I know, right?
He says, there's none told but Ekado one.
Okay.
That is who?
Yahweh.
Elohim. That's right, Yahweh. He said, make no mistake. So whoever told us, okay, you're doing good, you're a good person, you're a nice person, they're meaning well.
Yeah, they do.
But if you're not dealing with Yahweh, they're just trying to help you to get better.
Okay.
Don't just come, trying to flash, how the police or somebody may come and flash, okay, this is the police. And then don't come flashing, to us talking about, yeah, I'm this,
Your
this,
badge,
this.
uh-huh.
And you haven't been dealing with Yahweh.
Okay.
That badge is the world's evaluation.
All right.
right.
We're looking for Yahweh's
That's
evaluation.
the only one.
And Yahweh wants us to recognize
Yes, he does.
if we haven't been in the wilderness,
Teach
the
sister.
people meant
Teach
well.
sister.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
don't hold that up.
Teach.
Keep going along with Yahweh,
Yeah.
and He'll show you what's
Yes, he
good and
will.
what's
Yes, he
bad.
has.
He'll show you who you are.
Hallelujah.
And it's going to be good. He's not going to
All
pull you
the
down.
time, no matter
He's
what.
going to bring you up for real.
Yes, praise the mighty God.
Sister,
All
that's
right. Let's go to the Old Testament to Exodus. So Yahweh proves us in the wilderness
Yes, he
that in
does.
order to know who we really are,
Okay,
He needs to tell us.
okay, that's the only way.
He does. We can have, like in a democracy, going to Exodus 20, if you get, 51% of the vote or whatever, then, okay, that's the truth. No, it's not. If you get 51% of the vote, then a man can marry a man and a woman can marry a woman.
Okay,
But guess what? Yahweh got the final verdict on that.
That's
'cause
right.
You can't have
ain't no
not one
mercy with Yah.
child.
Huh,
Not one. Yahweh extincted that right there.
okay,
You can marry who you want, but unless you got a corrupt system, then they say, okay, adopt this and adopt this.
huh,
But if they grow up and marry a woman and a man and a man, Yahweh vetoes it again. You
Right,
stop
right,
it
all
again,
the time.
right there. So let a man and a woman stop coming together. And who you gonna adopt? You're gonna be extinct.
huh.
Yeah. Teach it,
It,
sister.
it's just so
Tell the
plain.
truth. Teach it.
What is it? Yahweh
Teach it,
is
sister.
as plain as the nose on your face.
Yes, he is. Plain and
Exodus
simple.
20.
Teach, sister. Teach.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise him.
Exodus 20, we're going to start at
Hallelujah.
verse 20. Now, he tells us who we are, and that's when
Okay.
we find out
That's all that
who
matters.
we really are. Exodus 20 and 20.
And Moshe said unto the people, Fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
Okay.
Now, he's saying there's something in you. Again, you're in a wilderness outside, which is in the earth.
Uh-huh.
You got a wilderness inside.
Yeah,
Until
it's a
you
mess
come
in
to
there.
Yahweh and He let you deal with that wilderness inside.
That right.
And you can tell people have a wilderness inside because they create destruction in the wilderness outside.
Yeah.
And Moshe Amar until I am, he said, don't be afraid, for Elohim has come to prove you.
Okay.
What's He proving to you? He's proving to you who you really are.
Hallelujah.
You can be stiff-necked, hard-headed, and rebellious
Yep.
and die in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Or you can humble down and
That's
listen to what
right.
Yahweh's
Remind
saying
yourself.
and say, Father, you telling me it's hard to hear, but it's good.
I know, right?
Tell
It
me,
is.
show
all
me
the
where I'm
time.
wrong. Show me where I can get right.
Hallelujah.
It's good for me. I know it's good
Yes,
for
it
me.
is.
It hurt the flesh, but I don't
You're
care.
right.
Show
Skip
me
that
how to embrace that and want to hear even more about who I am.
Yes, we do.
So I can get rid of it if you tell me to get rid of it.
Hallelujah.
He said, Elohim's come to prove you,
Okay.
and that His respect,
Okay.
His reverence may be before your faces, that you hata not.
That's not.
So He's saying there are some things you think that are right for you to do. He's coming to prove whether or not do you really want to be right.
Okay. Praise the mighty
Because
Yah.
there's some people won't even come to a temple because they say, well, when I go to the temple, this happened and that happened.
Huh.
And the people,
The people.
Yahweh is working something out in you
All right.
to get you to stop being so reactionary to the
All
people.
right.
You're going to have all those people around you till you deal with yourself.
Okay.
As the saying is, wherever you go, there you are. You are the common denominator. You're the one He's working on. Don't be looking at the people talking about, this one and this and that.
Right.
And then you stop assembling at a temple
I know, right?
because you say, oh, the people, this, no, it's you.
Right. It's within
And
you.
Yahweh is
Teach
working
it.
it out in you.
Teach.
All right, verse 21.
And the people stood afar off, and Moshe drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was.
Now you see the difference between the righteous person and the one that's not?
Okay. Right. They stood off.
And I stood afar off. But the people of Yahweh, represented by Moshe, drew near
Yes,
to
that's
the
what
thick
we are.
cloud
We're drawing closer and closer.
where
now, Yahweh.
Elohim was. Why? Because we know He's in that.
Yes, we want it.
We drew near to the word He's
Yes.
given us. Why? Because we
Hallelujah.
want it.
Yes. It's for our kind.
All right, go to chapter 16, Exodus 16.
Praise the mighty Yah.
So he's come to prove you. He's proving,
Yeah.
proving yourself to you.
Yep.
So if somebody told you you was the greatest thing since sliced bread, Yahweh's come to tell you, you're real good, I love you. But you're not the greatest thing since
That's
sliced
right.
bread.
Say, don't think how that.
Now, if you want to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, let me show you how to be that.
Okay, great to him.
And be that for real.
Right. Praise.
Not faking the funk as an old expression.
Right.
We don't have to fake.
No, we not
Because
anymore.
Yahweh's showing us the truth.
The truth,
Teach the
the way.
Exodus 16, and let's start at verse 4, please.
Hallelujah.
Then said Yahweh unto Moshe, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no.
Verse
Okay.
5.
And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
All right, so here now Yahweh is proving the people, he knows what we're going to do. He's proving to us that we need him
Oh,
to
yes,
continue
we
to
do.
command us and to
Yes,
continue
we
to
do.
show us ourselves.
Yes, we do.
Said, then Amar Yahweh unto Moshe, Behold, I will rain Lechem from Shemayim for you, and Ha'am shall go out and gather a certain rate. So, you weren't supposed to gather too little, you weren't
Right,
supposed to gather
right,
too
right.
much.
Right.
He said every day.
Okay.
He said daily. Now you got some people in the wilderness
Yeah.
that don't want to gather it daily. You got some people that want to go out on the Shabbat
Uh-huh.
and try to gather the bread
Yeah,
by going to work
right,
and doing
slam,
these different
no.
things, and they give themselves convenient excuses.
Tell it like it is.
Yahweh's not giving it to them,
Oh, no.
but they think they have an out.
Huh, not with
He
y'all.
said, a certain rate every day, no more, no less, that I may prove them
Okay.
whether they will walk in my Torah or no.
Okay.
So, Yahweh said one thing, you're proving to yourself, okay, I'm obeying that thing or I'm disobeying
All
that
right.
thing.
Right.
So
Plus,
you.
you're proving to Yahweh. Again, Yahweh already knows before we do it.
Okay.
He said, and it shall come to pass that on the 6th Yom, they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much. So he
Okay.
said, on the 6th day,
Six.
which is the preparation day, because they were forbid to go
Right,
out on
right,
the
right.
Shabbat
Just
on
like
the
today.
7th day, just like today. He said, you get twice as much. That way you'll have enough for that day and then for the Shabbat.
Yep,
You're
yep.
supposed to rest and relax on the
Hallelujah.
Shabbat.
What a great
But
rest.
guess what? Some ancient Israel died in the wilderness
Yeah, they did.
because they went out there during the 6 days gathering too much.
Huh.
He said, only get a little. What happened? Yahweh fixed them. He vetoed it. He made it stink. He
Yeah.
made it have worms. He made it get rotten. So they didn't have none for the next day. Guess what? They had to go out on that next day to get some more.
Huh.
Again, Yahweh shows us ourselves, and it's good.
Yes, it is.
You
right.
wanna see yourself.
I told
He shows us ourselves, and it's good.
all the time, no matter what.
Right. All he's doing is just pulling us into the kingdom.
Yes.
He's just helping us pull out all that stuff in
Hallelujah.
us
Get
that's
all
not
that
like
in
him
now.
that would stop us from going into the kingdom. It's good for us.
Yes, it is all the time, no matter what.
All right, we're in the Old Testament. Let's go to Malachi. So you're in the wilderness because there's some proving going on. And how long you stay in the wilderness is totally dependent on you.
Yes, it does. It's on you.
Malachi. So you can zoom through the wilderness, or you get bogged down. Malachi is in the Old Testament, the last book in the Old
The
Testament.
last book. Yeah.
Malachi, the 3rd chapter.
Praise the mighty God.
So who is this that's coming up out of the wilderness, leaning on Yahshua?
Us.
If you don't even believe in Yahshua, oh my God,
Huh.
you bogged down. You in quicksand in the wilderness.
Yeah.
You stuck. You're gonna stay stuck. Malachi 3, gonna read one verse. Verse 10.
Hallelujah.
Malachi 3 and verse 10 reads,
Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, and prove me now herewith, saith Yahweh Sabaoth, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it.
Praise
All right,
Yahweh.
he said, bring all the tithes, that's the 10th of whatever comes into us. And don't be trying to say, okay, is it the gross or the net? Forget all that. Your salary is your salary. Give the 10th and forget all that. Because
That's
Yahweh will and is multiplying
Yes,
in fact.
yes.
That's why there are those of us that have more than abundance. And I was just thinking about, since my Iyshshah went to wait on the resurrection,
Praise
I've been
Yahweh.
giving stuff away for over a year. And I'm still
Praise Yahweh.
Not only at the house, but here at the temple.
Yeah.
And it's like, what in the world was I doing? We're just packing stuff in. And it's amazing how much stuff that you
Yes.
accumulate.
Hallelujah.
And it makes it difficult for you to really get anything straight because you got too much. Because Yahweh said it was to share. It wasn't
Yes.
for you to just...
Praise the mighty
And
God.
you watch these shows hoarding,
Oh, yeah.
and they got this little pathway
Yeah.
in their house because they just trying to heap everything up for themselves. But it doesn't work like that.
Now we
Well, I
got.
just praise Yahweh. He said,
Praise
bring
Him.
all the tithes into the storehouse. And that's something that we have always done ever since we knew about it.
Okay.
Gave a 10th of whatever we got.
All right.
Matter of fact, my Iysh was so righteous, he said when we get the income tax return back, even though we gave a 10th on the gross, we give a 10th on the income tax.
Praise
Why? Because
the
then
mighty
Yahweh blesses us over and abundantly
Yes, he
above.
does. Yes, he will.
Which we
Yes, he has.
so this is just something that we've always done.
Praise the mighty
The
God.
reason is that there may be meat in my house. So if you're not giving a 10th of what Yahweh given you, and you come up in here and there's no turkey like there is now, then you just say, oh, okay, well, I better eat my turkey at home. I didn't bring the tithes
Right,
into the
right.
storehouse.
Thus says
And
Yahweh.
again, Yahweh's not asking for anything.
No, he's
All
not.
we're doing is just saying,
See your
come
obedience.
up out of the wilderness.
That's it.
This is how you come up out of it.
That's it. Obedience.
He said, bring me all the tithes into the storehouse, that there be meat in my buying, and prove me now herewith, said Yahweh SABBATH.
Okay.
If I will not open the windows of Shemayim and pour you out of a barakah, that there shall not be room enough to receive.
I know, right?
And I know we wasn't going through the little pass in there, but Micaiah kept telling me, you need to stop bringing all this stuff up in here.
Praise the mighty God.
It's like, I'm not bringing nothing. But what I would do is I would, donate some stuff or give some stuff away. And then I realized I go back and get some other stuff.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
Yahweh is good.
All the time, no matter what.
Praise Yahweh.
Praise
Let's go to the New Testament, 2 Corinthians. 2
Praise the
Corinthians,
mighty God.
praise Yahweh, the 13th chapter.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. 2
Praise
Corinthians 13. And we want to start at verse 5.
Hallelujah.
2 Corinthians 13. And let's read verse 5, please.
Examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahshua, Mashiach, is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Okay.
Now we kept saying, okay, you're in the wilderness for Yahweh. For Yahweh to prove you. Yahweh knows what we're going to do. But now, here it's saying, examine yourself.
Yep.
See, we as human beings and in the flesh, we want to examine everybody else.
Right. Yeah, right.
And then we're going to say this one, this one, this one, this one.
I know, right? Point
And
your
then another
finger.
thing which I have dealt with, Yahweh had me deal with some people about, we not only want to examine people, but we want to tell them why they do what they do. We want to be a mind reader and, and most times when we examine people and tell them why they do what we do, we assign a negative motive.
Okay.
We don't say, oh, bless them. They
Yes,
did this.
right.
They were just, so nice and,
Right.
and out of the goodness
Tell
of
like
their
it
heart
is,
they
brother.
did it. No, we'll say, no, see, they wanted to do this
I
and this
know,
and
right?
this, and they wanted to knock me down and do this and this and this. He said, examine yourself. Number
That's
one,
it.
I ain't even supposed to be examining you.
Right.
Amen.
You examine yourself.
That's right. You got to work out your own
And if you're
Yahshua.
listening to Yahweh, you'll examine yourself and say, you know what, I can improve in this area.
Okay? Praise the mighty Yah.
You
Praise
won't
the
say,
mighty
I
Yah.
have arrived. You won't say, I'm the golden
No.
child, like that movie that Eddie Murphy played in. And they were getting this little guy who's supposed to be a little Buddha guy. And I guess he's supposed, I forgot, was that called the golden
Yeah.
boy?
Golden child.
Golden child. Okay, and he had been born so many centuries. There had been one, you know, not been one. And so then they had to go rescue him. We're not the golden child. Yahshua was the golden child.
Is that right? Praise
But-
the mighty Yah.
We're following after Yahshua.
Yes, we are.
He said, examine yourself whether you be in high you not. Prove your own self. He said it twice. Yada ye not your own self. Do you know yourself? You
Right,
can't
right.
know yourself unless Yahweh telling you who you are.
Right, right.
You can't. You can say I'm this and this and this, but if Yahweh didn't tell you that, maybe you need to get a second opinion and just say, you know what, brother so-and-so, am I this and this and this?
Oh,
Well,
well.
be ready? Be
I
ready?
know, right.
You may say, you know, sister so-and-so, I think I'm this and this and this. How you
Okay.
think I'm doing? And don't just ask anybody, ask somebody that's dealing with Yahweh.
All right.
Because they'll tell you the truth, at least they'll be nice about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Some people just, you know,
All right, let you have it.
right. He said, how that Yahshua Mashiach is in you, that's what's telling you who you are. That's what
Yes.
Yahweh is speaking through, which is Ruach HaKodesh.
Yes.
Except you be a reprobate.
Okay.
Except you be cut off from Yahweh. Except you be none of his. Verse 6.
But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobate.
No.
Now
not.
he's saying now the people that's telling you this, reading Yahweh's word, and telling you you need to examine yourself.
Right.
Not just today, but tomorrow and the next week. and
Every
the
day,
week
all
after that.
day.
He said, I batak that you yada that we are not reprobates.
No, we're not. Not
That
anymore.
we're not steering you wrong because we're saying what Yahweh said.
Thus says Yahweh.
All right? He said, put yourself under the microscope so you can find out what's going on.
Okay.
So you can get up out of the wilderness.
That's right.
All right? Go to the Old Testament, Deuteronomy, the 1st chapter. So ancient Israel did not go straight from Egypt to the promised
No, they
land.
didn't.
Why is that? Because they needed to learn how to serve Yahweh,
Yep.
to obey Yahweh. Deuteronomy,
Yep.
the 1st chapter.
Praise the
They
mighty
did
Yah.
not go straight from Egypt to the promised land.
No, they did not.
Because first they had forgotten they were in slavery. They forgot that they were supposed to be serving
Right,
Yahweh.
right.
They thought, you know, hey, they grew up slave generation, you know, serving the Egyptians.
You right, right.
Just like our forefathers, you know, were over
Hell,
here in
yep.
slavery.
Y'all right,
And,
right.
you
Tell like
know, we
that.
were born to our parents and we were just thought that we supposed to grow up in slavery.
Uh-huh.
Just like now we out of slavery. If you don't know Yahweh, you still got that slave
Yeah,
mentality.
yes you do. Yes you
And
do.
your parents, you know, they'll teach you to go to school and do different things like that. But if they don't know Yahweh,
Right?
they still don't know. Serving Yahweh overrides whatever we're doing in
Hallelujah.
this life.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Go
Praise
get
the
your
mighty Yah.
degree. Go do well in school.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there's a secular part of you that's going to have to earn a living.
That right, that right.
That's the curse that came when
Yep.
Adam
Said
sinned.
man must
Said by the
labor.
sweat of your brow.
Right, right.
But your main job that you're here on the earth for is to serve Yahweh.
To have it Yahweh.
And to clue in.
That's what he
Like
Yah.
you plug your cell phone in and you
Right.
to plug into Yahweh and realize, oh, I'm supposed to be serving Yahweh.
That's right.
That's what
Praise
ancient
God.
Israel had to do. They had forgot that in slavery.
Uh-huh.
Deuteronomy 1st chapter, we're going to start at verse 2.
Hallelujah.
But they didn't go straight to the promised
No,
land.
they did
Just
not.
like when you come to Yahweh, you going in the wilderness. You ain't,
Yeah.
you're not going straight to whatever Yahweh
Right,
has
right.
for you to do.
It's a process.
Yeah, Yahweh got to get them weeds up out of
Yeah,
us, that
right.
wilderness.
Got to root them up out of you.
Let's read verse 2. Deuteronomy 1 and verse 2.
There are 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh Barnea.
Verse 3.
And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moshe spake unto the children of Israel according unto all that Yahweh had given him in commandment unto them.
All right, now whose one it is? Yahweh.
Uh,
But it says there, 11 yom journey from Horeb by way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh Barnea. Kadesh Barnea is right outside the promised land.
Okay.
Only 11 days.
I know, right?
But then the next verse says it came to pass in the 40th year.
I know, right?
40 years. They got stuck in the wilderness. Matter of fact, they couldn't find the promised land after these people disobeyed.
Okay.
Yahweh put like a cloud and a screen up. They couldn't just go into the promised land after that. No. Yahweh
Blinded 'em.
said, you're not going in. The people that disobeyed,
Right.
you're going to stay in the wilderness. You're going to die there.
Thus says Yahweh.
It says it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first Yowm of the month, that Moshe and Mar unto Haban of Israel, according to all that Yahweh had given him mitzvah, given him in mitzvah unto them.
Okay.
So Yahweh was telling Moshe what to tell the people,
Right.
just like he tells all of us.
Hallelujah.
Verse 4.
After he had slain Sihon and the king of the Amorites, which dwelt in Heshbon, and all the king of Bashan, which dwelt at Ashtaroth in Edrei,
Verse 5.
on this side Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moshe to declare this law, saying.
Now, and he's saying what Yahweh said.
But thus says
But it's on
Yahweh.
the other side of Jordan.
Right, on the
This
other
is
side.
40 years later, the rebellious people that got stuck in the wilderness. See, these people are coming up out of the wilderness.
Right.
Everybody doesn't come up out of the
No,
wilderness.
they do not.
But praise Yahweh is dependent on us.
Okay.
All we have to do is hear and obey.
That's it. That's all
It
he had.
says, on this side Jordan, the land of Moab, began Moshe to declare this Torah. This is what Yahweh said. Amar, verse 6.
Yahweh our Elohim spake unto us in Horeb, saying, Ye have dwelt long enough in this mount.
All right, so he said, you dwelt long enough in this mount because the children of Israel, the rebellious ones, said, would Yahweh we had died in the
I know,
wilderness.
right.
And so Yahweh said, okay,
Right.
you want that? That's what you're going to get. But they refused to do what Yahweh said. He said, Yahweh our Elohim Amar unto us in Horeb Amar. He had what?